2 o'clock on Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. I'd like to call to order the Board of Parks and Recreation Commissioners Board meeting. The first order of business is roll call.
Commissioner Smith.
Present.
Commissioner Perez-Rico.
Present.
President Holland.
Here.
Director Cotton.
Here.
Yeah, thank you.
First order of business is the consideration of board approval of the April 20th, 2023 board meeting minutes as outlined in attachment A. Are there any suggested changes or additions to the minutes?
I appreciate you updating those, Secretary.
Thank you.
So moved.
We have a motion
Second.
and a second on approval of the minutes. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The motion's adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 3225, cooperative agreement with Boy Scouts of America Frontier for the use of Swope Interpretive Center for programming as outlined in attachment B.
Yes, thank you. On Thursday, March 2nd, staff met with Mary Williams Neal, Lakeisha Martin, and Quincy Bennett with the Scouts organization. The Scouts are in need of space to grow in the Cula district for den meetings as well as storage for some of their items. The Scouts spend a lot of time in Swope Park, and as discussions began to revolve around helping them grow, the vacant Swope Interpretive Center entered the discussions. Staff will always encourage positive activity in the park system, and utilizing a portion of the Swope Interpretive Center for developing scout troops to hold den meetings and have access to a wonderful park to work on the necessary skills to earn their merit badges is a win situation for both organizations. Staff would like for the Scouts to have access to all of the first level of the facility, with the exception of one office which will be reserved for future use of the expanding park ranger program. Mary Williams Neal was passionate about this project, and the group was supposed to reconvene on Monday, March 13th, on the day of Mary's medical emergency. The meeting was rescheduled to Thursday, March 30th with staff, Miss Martin, and Miss Bennett, and they were very excited about the possibilities after seeing the building. Many of the families and children the Scouts are working to attract have economic struggles, and paying for kids to be involved in the scouting program is not an option for those families. In an effort to help the Scouts build a program in Swope Park and the surrounding area, staff would like to request that the Scouts be allowed to use the lower portion of the Swope Interpretive Center, with the exception of the office for future park use, at no charge. In return, the Scouts will do various volunteer projects in the community, be a positive example in the area for other children to see, maintain a presence in a historic structure in Swope Park, and provide mentoring for Scouts themselves. At this time, staff recommends approval of the cooperative agreement with Scouts, and Lakeisha Martin is here to answer any questions the board may have. Thank you.
Any questions on this item?
Yeah, really excited to continue and support and see through the work that Commissioner Mary Williams Neal was excited about. So approved.
Second.
Ms.
I
Martin?
don't have any questions.
Well, good afternoon.
Yes.
My name is Lakeisha Martin. I am the district director for the Frontier Scoutreach District. We have talked to many of our paraprofessionals that we hire on to come and run our programs, and one of the things that we are looking forward to do is partner with Upper Room this summer. Many of the kids in those programs do not have the financial ability to go to day camp, so we want to bring that day camp experience to them. And in the past, it has been a struggle because me being an individual, transporting all that stuff back and forth was a struggle. So with the use of this facility, we can store the equipment, and we can actually bus kids in who are participating in those summer upper room programs to have day camp experiences. So we really appreciated use of this building. Also with training of some of the adults who go into the after school programs and lead these scout programs for free.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Thank you. Next order of business is Resolution 32226, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Missouri Aquatics Training and Education Solutions for the use of the pool and classroom at Great Clyce community to provide lifeguard training as outlined in attachment C.
Thank you. So this is a cooperative agreement. We will be allowing mates to use the pool for their lifeguard training for 4 days in exchange for one free lifeguard training for one of our staff members. And do you have any questions?
Any questions for Jennifer Judd here?
So for the one free training, do you have folks that are already interested in that, or do you nominate? What's the process for that?
So we haven't decided who will go through training, but oftentimes the lifeguards need to be retrained yearly or every 2 years, so we would pay for that training.
Okay.
We currently only have a few in-house trainers, so that would allow us to put somebody into that course. And it could be a lifeguard course, or it could be a lifeguard instructor course where we could train more instructors to train lifeguards.
That's
Ideally,
great.
it's an instructor course, but.
What's that?
I said ideally it's an instructor course. Those are really hard
Yeah.
to come by.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Jen.
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32226. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business, Resolution 32227, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Total Man CDC in partnership with St. Luke Memorial Church to provide meals during summer camps at Southeast, Hillcrest, Brush Creek, Tony Aguirre, Westport Roanoke, Kansas City North, and Line Creek Community Centers as outlined in Attachment D. Jennifer?
Thank you. So we've partnered with Total Man for several years for providing snacks and lunches for our summer camp program. So they deliver the lunches daily, and our staff will serve the lunches to the campers.
I've always appreciated the work of Total Man, so they do great work. So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32227. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business, Resolution 32228, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Total Man CDC for the use of facilities at Brush Creek Community Center for the Celebration of Men and Fathers event on June 10th, 2023.
Thank you. So partnered with Total Man for this event. We are providing space for their community event at Brush Creek Community Center. They'll have family-oriented information, resources, activities, entertainment, food, and we will provide them space in the entire community center.
Any questions on this item?
So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32228. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32229 through 32232, considering board approval of a cooperative agreements with Oak Park, Blue Hills, Heart of the City, and Blue Valley Neighborhood Associations for the Enjoy program as outlined in Attachment F.
Thank you. Over the last 3 years, we've partnered with these 4 neighborhood associations to provide opportunities for about middle school age students in the neighborhood. So they coordinate the youth participants, volunteers. They provide education and work for these young folks to do, cleaning public parks, the public right-of-ways, and distributing recycling educational material. So this is a program that kind of keeps those youths engaged while they're participating in the program throughout the summer.
Any questions or comments regarding this item?
Yeah, curious about the timeline or the longevity of this agreement. You said it's been in motion for a few years.
Yes, so I became aware of this program during the 2020 summer. We had participated in it previously. It was a Parks and Rec and neighborhood collaboration, and I think it had stopped at some point, and then it came back online, to my knowledge, in 2020.
And so when is it in perpetuity? Does it have an end date, this agreement?
Oh, yeah, it's just for the summer from June 5th to August 4th.
Okay. Any other comments about this?
This will be our last year to go into this agreement.
Okay. So can we amend the resolution that shows this being the final year? Will the program cease? Are you all reevaluating it?
Yeah, we will get with neighborhoods to reevaluate the program, as we have a lot of interest from other neighborhoods now that really want to partake in it. So we will work with neighborhoods to see if maybe they can establish a funding source to continue to offer, but not only that, to offer to more neighborhoods.
Okay. Thank you. So if we can just ensure that our minutes reflect the timeline and the reevaluation for it,
Through August 4th, 2023.
and this being the final year. Sounds like a really great program. It'd be great to see how it can benefit Okay, so move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32229 through 32232. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolutions are adopted. Resolution 32233, considering board approval of a facility use with concessions agreement with Glory Bible Fellowship International for the use of Central Park to host a youth track and field meet as outlined in attachment G.
Thank you. So the city will be compensated $750 for the field usage, along with 10% of the gate receipts and 20% of the concession sales, with an estimate of $1,004 being paid to the city.
No questions from me.
Any questions on this item?
So moved.
We have a
Second.
motion and a second on Resolution 32233. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32234, considering board approval of an agreement with KCATA to allow KCATA employees and families access to all community centers and reimbursing the Parks and Recreation Department for the cost associated with these visits, as outlined in attachment H.
Thank you. So this agreement has been in place with KCATA for a couple years now. They reimburse us for the full price of their employees and their staff members, their family members, with a monthly cap of $2,000, and then this agreement runs until April 30th, the remainder of the fiscal year.
Was this a program that was also going to be open up to the whole city, like all of the employees, or just, because I feel like we talked about that at some point.
So this is specifically for KCATA. We do have a program within the city where one of the benefits of being a city employee is free access to the community centers, and then family members get a discounted rate for access to the community centers as well.
Thank you. Any other? Move to approve.
A
We have
second.
a motion and a second on Resolution 32234. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32235, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with Word of Faith Church for the use of Southeast Community Center to conduct church services as outlined in attachment I.
Thank you. So we have a few churches that rent out space at our community centers to conduct their services. This is one of them. They agree to keep their messaging within the church service and only for their participants. They will compensate us $50 an hour for an estimate of $2,900.
Thank you. Any
So
questions or comments? We have a motion.
Second.
And a second on Resolution 32235. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32236, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with YouthWorks for the use of Greg Kleiss and Tony Aguirre Community Centers as outlined in attachment J.
Thank you. So YouthWorks is a group that we've partnered with for a few years. They do mission trips for teenagers and young adults. They will be using Greg Kleiss and Tony Aguirre Community Centers in the afternoons for 9 weeks to utilize the showers. They typically stay at a location that doesn't have showers, and we will be charging them $100 a week for a total compensation of $900.
Is this a program we've had before?
It is.
Okay. And do you think $100 is enough to cover the water bill? You know, we're concerned about the water here.
I don't know off the
Good
top of my head, but what I can say is that we previously did not charge this group at all to use our facilities. And we charge members of the public, the houseless, or whoever may want to come in and use the showers, $5 a day. So we
Okay.
Requested compensation and kind of negotiated because they're nonprofit doing community-based work.
And staff did do a fee comparison with other communities that participate in this type of program. This was on par for what they typically pay.
Okay, awesome.
I would agree. We used to do the same thing. Yeah. So move. I think it's a great use of partnership.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32236. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution's adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32237, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Upper Room KC, Inc. to offer summer academic programs at Garrison, Greg Cleiss, and Marlboro Community Centers as outlined in Attachment K.
Thank you. So we've also partnered with Upper Room in previous years to provide summer programming for youth. We have targeted Garrison, Greg Cleiss, and Marlboro. Previously, it used to be Brush Creek. Typically, when we would hold summer camp at those locations, those were locations where we were offering a high percentage of scholarships. So we've partnered with Upper Room to provide a free program to the students. Upper Room will compensate us $6,000 per community center for a total of $18,000 for their 6-week program.
Any questions or comments on this item?
Just the hours, Secretary, that it's going to be open from 7:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. That's just,
Oh, okay.
just the title, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No other questions. Yeah. So moved.
25 hours,
It's a long time.
25 and a half.
Second.
That's what I'm saying, like, they're not going to be there.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32237. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32238, considering board approval of a facility use without concessions agreement with Eagle Youth Football for the use of Hodge Park Multipurpose Fields Number 1 and Number 2 and Rugby Field Number 1 for the purpose of conducting football clinics, practices, games, and associated activities as outlined in Attachment L.
Thank you. So this is one of our typical athletics facility use contracts. This group will be using the fields Monday through Thursday from 4 to 9. Their rate is $15 a day per field, with the compensation being estimated at $2,655.
Any questions or comments on this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32238. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32239, considering board approval of a facility use without concession agreement with North Suburban Youth Football League for the use of the Waterwell Athletic Complex, San Rafael Football Field, Pleasant Valley Road Athletic Complex Football Field for the purpose of conducting football clinics, practices, games, and associated activities as outlined in Attachment M.
This group will be using the fields at various times at these locations. The rate for the fields is $15 a day, $30 an hour for lights, for a total projected compensation of $17,460.
Any questions or comments?
Move to approve. Oh, that was loud.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32239. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32240, considering board approval of a cooperative agreement with Midwest Adaptive Sports for the use of Pleasant Valley Road Athletic Complex for wheelchair softball and football games as outlined in Attachment N.
Thank you. This is the last one for me. So we partnered with Midwest Adaptive Sports at Pleasant Valley Road Athletics Complex to build a accessible softball and football location. So they're going to be using that location to, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. So they're going to be using that facility.
So it says that they have agreed to help raise funds for field improvement. What is the idea around that and the expectation around that?
So typically they have a yearly fundraiser at the location where they play a game to raise funds. And I believe, through the pandemic, it's a little bit less attended. but they're looking to raise, I believe it was between $10,000 and $25,000 to do improvements to, add in some more paved walkways around the location, and I believe they wanted to add in some shade structures as well. Of course, we'd work with them to, through our planning department, to make sure that we're kind of following the guidelines for that, but that was the thought around it. They helped raise funds for the location.
And I met with them a couple weeks ago, and one of their big goals is to put in a hitting station. Put in a hitting station so they can actually have before they come on deck, they can go into a hitting net area and be able to hit. So that's one of their big goals right now.
So they'll provide the money for the improvement and our team will install it, or?
No, actually, they would come up with the funding and the contractor to put in the hitting net as long as it felt within our standards. And they would have to go through our development review committee to do so, but that's one of their main goals.
Okay. Because I noticed there's not a dollar amount. Is that just to give them some wiggle room? Because they're not clear on what the funding will be?
Yes.
Okay. And so all of that is set to happen this year?
Yes.
Okay. And so that's in exchange for them actually paying a fee?
Yes.
Thank you. And is that typical, those type of exchanges?
It really depends on the group. This group works with a lot of the community with disabilities and provides a space for them. So since there are not a lot of groups that provide this specific service, that's why we're partnering with them, because they'll be raising funds and they'll be bringing programming to that specific field.
Mm-hmm. No other questions for me?
Anything further on this item?
No.
Do we have a motion to approve?
Move to approve.
Do we have a motion? Do we have a second?
A second.
We have a motion and a second on resolution 32240. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen. The next order of business is resolution 32241, considering board approval of a facility use with concession agreement with the Kansas City Pride Community Alliance for KC Pride Fest in Tice Park, as outlined in attachment O.
Good
Mr.
afternoon.
Loya.
Thank you. This is a repeat annual event. The KC Pride Community Alliance wishes to enter a facility use and concession agreement for the use of Tice Park. The totaling fees will be $18,600. They expect 25,000 spectators. They will have KCPD and KCFD on site, and they are working with the health department for noise monitoring. And there shouldn't be anything else from any other years.
This is the one that last year the noise was substantially louder than what had been projected.
Yes, and
So-
they are aware, and they're going to do better this year,
Okay.
working with the health department.
Great. Any other questions on this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have motion and a second on resolution 32241. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next
Thank you.
order of business is resolution 32242, considering board approval of a facility use with concession agreement with Boulevardia for the 2023 Boulevardia event in Washington Square Park, as outlined in attachment P.
Thank you. Yes, Boulevardia wishes to enter into a facility use and concession agreement for the use of Washington Square Park. The festival dates are June 16th and 17th. KCPD will be on site. Nothing new from previous years on this one either. Any questions?
We've estimated the Boulevardia event at 30,000 participants and Pride Fest at only 25,000?
Yeah. That's their numbers, yes.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Move to approve?
We
Second.
have a motion and a second on resolution 32242. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you.
Next order of business is resolution 32243, considering board approval of a facility use with concession agreement with Unite KC to hold their finish line event on June 10th, 2023 on the Great Lawn, as outlined in attachment Q.
Yes, thank you. Unite KC is planning to have a finish line event at the Great Lawn. They will have a neighborhood walk in the area, and they wish to enter into a facility use concession agreement for the use of the Great Lawn. They're expecting about 1,500 participants. It'll be a basic finish line festival, community party. Hours are 9 a.m. to noon, then it's over. Any questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32243. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution
Thank you, Ralph.
32244, considering board approval of Amendment Number 1 with Shawnee Mission Tree Service, Inc., doing business as Masters Company for ash tree removal services in the amount of $500,000. We're missing a zero there. And
Yes,
extend the
it is missing a
contract
zero
term to May 31st, 2024, as outlined in Attachment R.
Good afternoon. Yeah, this is a continuation of our slow removal of ash trees due to emerald ash borer, the invasive beetle pest that has hurt our ash trees. And it's a good thing that we're continuing to have to do this. What we've managed to do, and I think I reported this last time, interestingly enough, much like with COVID, we've managed to flatten the curve of removal of those trees. It's been a longer, we actually expected to have a much higher peak of ash tree removal, but due to a couple of good management from our city forester of treatment of trees plus early removals of already declining ash trees, we've managed to make this where our ash trees are dying out slower than expected, which is good because it allows us to replace them at a more even pace. But this is just a continuation of that effort that we've been doing for ash tree removal. If there's any questions. And I should make a note, this funding is out of the 3090 fund, which is a capital improvements fund. It comes out of Public Works. It's not money that comes out of the park
Yes.
sales tax.
Thank you.
Good point.
I love that distinction.
Any other questions for Mr. Van Ryn?
Oh, thank you for being on top of this. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32244. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32245, considering board approval of Amendment Number 2 with Shawnee Mission Tree Services, Inc., doing business as Masters Company for tree maintenance services in the amount of $1 million, and extend the contract term to May 31st, 2024, as outlined on Attachment S.
Yeah, this is our yearly allotment of tree maintenance money we have. Largely goes to a lot of 311 calls for down tree removal, dead tree removal, looking for hazardous tree limbs, that sort of work. And there will also be some proactive pruning with this. But a large part of this does go to just the kind of 311 calls we get for those trees that pose a risk. Again, this is out of the 3090 fund through Public Works, their capital improvements funding.
Okay. Any comments or questions?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32245. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Thank you, Mr. Van Ryn. Next order of business is Resolution 32246, considering board approval of an encroachment license agreement with 407 Grand LLC for the property located at 407 Grand Boulevard, as outlined in Attachment T. And Mr. Wong.
Commissioners, this is a encroachment license agreement with 407 Grand LLC. This is for two outward swing entry doors. So the annual encroachment fee is $224.20. So under the agreement, the licensee will be responsible for complying all the requirements set in the agreement. So there's a typo in the memo. In the second paragraph, we will refer to valet parking. This is incorrect. It's for a door encroachment. So we'll get this corrected, in the meeting minutes.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I missed that typo.
Yeah, the second paragraph, it referred to a valet parking.
Mm-hmm.
So it should be
Oh, I
for
got
a door swing, yeah.
Okay.
So,
And this is in the River Market?
Yeah, this is
Oh,
the
this
one,
is
yeah,
located-
on Grant.
Yeah. Any other comments or questions on this?
Move to approve.
The second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32246. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32247, considering board approval of Amendment Number 1 with Strata Architecture for the Concourse Park Colonnade repairs to extend the term of the contract to June 1st, 2024, as outlined on Attachment U.
Commissioners, this is a no-cost amendment with the Strata Architect for the concourse and colonnade repairs. So this one will replace, Strata will replace a structural engineer associates, which is sub-consultant on the team, with a new structural engineer firm. The new one is Bob Campbell Structural Engineers. The existing structural engineering firm, they are not very responsive, so Strata decided to replace them with a new one so that we can keep the project going on schedule. So with that, I'm here to answer any question you may have.
You said no cost?
No cost.
No
Yeah,
cost.
just to replace a sub with another one.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Move to approve. And second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32247. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32248, considering board approval of a design professional services agreement with Telefaro Brown for the Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Park Pedestrian Bridge Project in the amount of $244,195, as outlined in Attachment V.
Commissioners, the MOK Park Ped Bridge project will build a brand-new pedestrian bridge in MLK Park that will connect communities on the south and north banks of the Brush Creek. And it will allow pedestrians to safely reach the new playground and amenities at MLK Park. So under this agreement, the design professional will provide surveying, geotechnical work, alignment study, a bridge type analysis. There will be a lot of PR and preliminary design. So Telefaro Brown is the design consultant. The MB and WB goals assigned by CREO is 14 and 14, and their participations are 44% and 22%. So way exceeded the goals.
And ultimately, this is going to be primarily funded with federal infrastructure dollars.
Yes, this will be funded with the federal funding. It's the high priority program, so we're very excited.
Congressman Cleaver was essential to that effort. Anything else on this item?
We've had the privilege of hearing you, I've had the privilege of hearing you talk about this for a while, so move
Thank
to
you,
approve.
Commissioner.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32248. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32249, considering board approval of the Trolley Blue River Connector Trail, Segment 2 TAP 3301-511, renewal of a revocable license agreement with the United States General Services Administration, as outlined in Attachment W.
Commissioners, we're leasing property from the feds to build the Trolley Blue River Connector Trail. This trail will be built on the old Bannister Federal Complex. So there's no fee. This agreement is a 5-term agreement. It will allow to renew for another three terms, so we total 20 years. So no cost for us. We can build the trail on the feds' property.
This is a walking trail or a trolley? I'm sorry.
It's a walking trail.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
10-foot wide walking trail. So this is a connect, because we have a Blue River Trail comes
Right.
along the south, and we have the trolley truck trail from MLK Boulevard all the way to 85th Street. So this will bring that trail up from 95th Street to Prospect.
Yeah.
Along Blue River.
Very good. And what's the timeline on this?
Lisa, do we-
Well, so this, for the agreement or for the construction of the project?
The construction project.
For construction of the project. So, pending getting this agreement in place, this is kind of the last thing we need to get done before we can start advertising the project for construction bids.
Okay.
So, this is a federally funded, project, with matching funds. So it's, we have a few more steps involved, in our bidding, but hopefully we can start construction
So with a year's time?
Yeah, so hopefully construction would be wrapping up in 2024.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So,
All goes well.
yeah,
Right.
this is one of the requirement that the federal will give us the final approvals, allow us to, begin construction of the project.
All our fingers and toes crossed. Got it. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32249. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business is Resolution 32250, considering board approval of change order number 3, final, with Gunter Construction for the playground improvements, decreasing the contract amount by $10,549 and extend the contract term to May 12th, 2023, as outlined in attachment X.
Commissioners, this is a playground package that we did, a year ago. So what we did is we combined the 10 playgrounds together in a single package, and that resulted a quick delivery time. This is a final change order. So what we did here is we're replacing the paving surface at Angarni from concrete to asphalt to match the existing, and that resulted in a saving of $10,000 over. And this is the final change order. Once it's done, we'll start to close out the project.
Okay, any questions on this item?
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32250. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. Next order of business, Resolution 32251, considering board approval of amendment number 2 with Water's Edge Aquatic Design for the Southeast Community Center pool renovation in the amount of $86,400 and extend the contract time to April 30th, 2024, as outlined in attachment Y.
Commissioners, this is the amendment 2 with Water's Edge for Southeast Community Center pool renovation project. This is a very complicated project because, the contractor will be excavating inside the building, a very small space, and they will be excavating next to the building footing. And they will be also installing complicated electrical and plumbing services inside the building also. So Water's Edge they are the design professional. They are very specialized in the pool design and construction inspection. So Amendment 2 is for construction inspection services. So they'll be providing full-time inspection and make sure that the project is constructed according to the specs.
Yes, very important work. No questions. Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second on Resolution 32251. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. The resolution is adopted. The next order of business is the director's update.
Yes, good afternoon. Fountain Day was held on April 14th. We had great weather and a great turnout. The Garment District Grooves began on April 19th. We had over 1,500 volunteers for the Great Kansas City Cleanup. The Dave Mecklenburg Trailhead dedication was on May 5th. The Community Center Evaluation RFP received 4 proposals. Staff is currently reviewing. Planning staff is setting meetings with City Council to discuss go-bond projects for the allocated $10 million for budgeting purposes. Cooley Park Pre-Construction Conference took place on May 5th, and construction is expected to begin on May 15th. Contract for the SEC Southeast Community Center pool rebuild has been awarded to Gunter Construction. The retaining wall footing for Brookside Wall repair is complete. The minor park pickleball courts are finished and open to the public. There's been houseless camp cleanup at Big Shoal Trail, Washington Square, and we cleaned up a dump site at Penn Valley Park. And finally, the total water bill for the fiscal year was just over $5.1 million. Our stipend was $4.1 million, leaving a water bill due of $1 million for the last budget year. And that is my report.
Director Cotton, can you tell me what's going on the north end of the park, Penn Valley Park? There's some major excavation there.
Yes, so there is I don't know the diameter of the water line, but there is a water line over there that has been leaking for quite some time, and the water department is excavating it to get it repaired.
Wow. That's a major excavation.
And if you notice, there's one area below the road where we've had the hillside has actually slid down some, and our best guesstimate is from the amount of water that line has been losing.
Sure.
Wow.
Director Cotton, what did you say about the concerts, the Roots?
The Garment District Grooves concert began on April 19th down at the Garment District off of Broadway.
Yeah. And that's a weekly thing, Heidi? Is that?
It's monthly.
Monthly. Okay, and how do the musicians, how do they get to apply or get the opportunity to find out about it? Like, do we have a variety of music genres and
We work
everything?
with Crossroads Academy, their music instructor
Okay,
has a broad network of musicians, and we also pull from the Make Music Day musicians as well.
okay. Have we ever worked with the Harmony Project? Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions for the director? Next order of business is public hearing. We have one citizen signed up to address the board, Candy McCashlin. Welcome.
Thank you very much. So my name is Candy McCaslin. I'm president of the Kansas City Rose Society. I am here today with Laura Dickinson, who is vice president of the Kansas City Rose Society. In years past, the Kansas City Rose Society representatives used to regularly attend Kansas City Parks and Rec board meetings. Since that time, our board has turned over, and I know there are new faces on your board as well. So I'm here today just to familiarize you with our organization and with our partnership. We're celebrating our 92nd year partnership with the Kansas City Parks and Rec as stewards of Laura Conyer Smith Municipal Rose Garden in Luce Park. So I had just a brief overview of what we do. The Kansas City Rose Society maintains approximately 3,000 rose bushes and 130 varieties in the rose garden through our volunteer grooming program. This last year we had almost 1,500 volunteer hours in grooming the rose garden. We purchase the rose bushes for the garden and provide many activities and educational opportunities to the community, most of which are free of charge. These include Rose Day and the Rose Show, Jazz in the Roses, Reading in the Roses, our children's art and poetry events, children's field trips, demonstration events, a Rose Library website where we have provided QR codes on the signage in the Rose Garden, which links you directly to a website to familiarize yourself and educate you with the roses that are grown in the garden. We have an Ask a Rosarian program and educational rose videos on the Kansas City Rose Society website. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions for McCaslin, Ms. McCaslin?
Appreciate the information.
Yes, thank you for the
I appreciate
update.
you all taking the time to
The garden
for
looks
us to
great.
speak today. Thank you.
Yes.
Really does. Thank you.
Secretary Houston, how far out does it book up for like weddings and events like that?
I'm not sure. Can you,
Maybe.
Or is it-
Start taking reservations January 1st.
So the same as
Literally that, all the way into late fall.
the one that books up the fastest, huh? Yeah.
Pretty much always.
Right.
There's also photography that goes on there as well during the week.
Everybody's prom.
And when there's some photography that isn't booked, that is just impromptu.
Yeah.
Still working on that, but it's a very popular site.
It is.
I'll just comment quickly. Rose Society is a wonderful partner. They're amazing to work with.
Mhm.
A ton of time and energy and effort into the Rose Garden. And it wouldn't be what it is without them, obviously. So,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That completes the public agenda.
Pursuant to Section 610.021, subsections 3 and 13 of the revised statutes of Missouri to discuss personnel matters.
That's a motion?
Yes.
To go into executive.
Yep.
A second.
We have a motion, a second to go into executive session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same. We're in the executive session.